I have a little brother. He sees everything I do.
Yeah.
He's capable of it. I've offered to hire him to do stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
He lets me down every single time. It's unfortunate because it sucks, but he lets me down every single time because I wish he could just fit, because if we were together,
yeah,
I would move him in here. He's in LA, he's living with my mom. If he worked with me, I'll tell him, come live with me. You don't got no rent, you got no bills. I'll fucking pay you. You'll get to live in this nice penthouse and we'll fucking grind it out. We'll make so much fucking money.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't prove that he wants it. Because if he's gonna do that, I'm not gonna make him do that move. I'm not gonna make him quit his job and do all this. If he's not actually gonna work, if he's gonna sit here and be lazy, because then it's just, I'm just taking care of you at that point. But for some reason, I'm like, bro, you gotta do this. Like, yeah, I know, but he doesn't do it. And it's weird to me, because it's like, how do you say you know, but you don't do it?
Yeah, that's the bizarre thing about it, especially with proximity. I think if you now lived in the same area, or within the same location, and they see you constantly grinding, you would assume naturally one would want to go and grind. But I think there's a level of complacency amongst the people who are comfortable until you now have your back against the wall. Like, let's just say, because your mother is there and you feel obligated to go and take care of your mother. Because my parents are there, I feel obligated to take care of my parents. If there was a situation to where now their isolated back was against the wall, like, man, the house ain't gonna be paid. You can't, if you don't make rent, you're on the street and you're homeless. That now gives you the fire to go and get after it.
So that's a good point, but do you think people just crumble under that? Because
there's a lot of people who crumble.
Because I know, like, in those situations, they're like, oh, this is impossible, and they just give up.
Right.
Because there's two types of people. There's the type of people that, like, will sit there and be like, nah, fuck that. I'm figuring this out. Or there's like, oh, this is hard, and they just buckle under pressure.
But I think it's necessary, because if you're now in a situation where this person's back is completely against the wall and you have to make that decision, I think also for us, because we can see the potential within them, and we can see, yo, if they committed themselves, they would be absolutely brilliant. And they've shown signs of being able to get there, right? So you you hold out on the hope that they're capable. But if you now have them in a spot where their back is completely against the wall and it's solely on them, you'll see how, if that potential really is there, or if it was just something that was, you know, an illusion. Because I think if it's a matter of, all right, cool, this person's exposed to, you know, the world, or they're exposed to, I should say, they're exposed to the fire being at their back, and they say, you know what, nah, I'm gonna give up. You know, if I gotta be homeless, hey, it is what it is, this is what I'm gonna do, or whatever. And you'll be like, well, I guess you had your opportunity. I know that you're not gonna be this go-getter. Now I don't have to keep wrestling with myself and my conscience about, hey, if I just gave you this opportunity, going back to like the Jay-Z thing that we talked about before, where if I gave you this opportunity, you'd probably just squander it. So now I have peace knowing that, you know, we're not the same. There's nothing against you, but now I know.
I juggle with the idea constantly of can everybody do it, or am I just different? Because LeBron said something. He said God gave me wide shoulders for a reason. Wide shoulders so I could carry everyone. And I think about it, I'm like, I look at my world, I look at all the people that depend on me, right? 10 employees, family, girlfriend. A lot of people depend on me. It's a lot of pressure. It's the weight of the world. But I think about it, I'm like, God gave me wide shoulders for a reason. Because like, this is my calling. I'm one of those people that carries fucking people through the mud. If we have a dozen people that's on my back, I'm gonna carry them through the mud. And I look at it, and I start thinking, maybe you're not like that. Maybe you're someone that's meant to be carried. You know, maybe you're a role player. It's unfortunate because you see these brothers like Andrew Tate and his brother, or Jake Paul and his brother, and they're both successful, and you wish for that, because I'm not gonna lie, I would have so much fucking fun. If my brother was entrepreneur minded, and we were just sitting here all day building businesses, we'd make so much money. I genuinely think that we could make $1 million a month after a year of just sitting here grinding together. But the reality is that's just not the cloth that he's cut from.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel the exact same way, because growing up, I always looked at it like, man, could have been like a dynamic duo and across the board, like even with sports and everything. I'm like, man, you know, if we both just had the same mindset, but we're not the same people. So I'm like, I respect that we're not the same people, and I can't force you to be something. But then you sit there like, look at the potential of what we could have been. Like, if we're in the same spot, we're just both getting after it, relentless. There is no way that you can't be successful when you have two people who genuinely, it's not even like, okay, we're just business partners. We actually love each other. Like, and I think that's one thing that a lot of people overlook.
Right.
Because when you go into business with your friends that you genuinely love and you're both so incredibly ambitious to make something work, it's seldom do you fail.
Because you have a similar mission.
Exactly. And because you have that, I don't want to let this person down, you're not going into it selfishly.
Exactly.
You're looking at like, hey, I want to succeed for you. You want to succeed for me. Seldom does it fail. Only reason why it ends up failing is because somebody has an ulterior motive.
Right.
You want to get rich for you.
Exactly.
Or I want to get rich for me. It's not, hey, I'm trying to do it for you, you trying to do it for me, and we want to do it together.
If it was, and the thing is, you don't have to be, you said it perfectly, you don't have to be the same person.
Yeah.
My brother, he doesn't have to be the guy in front of the camera, he doesn't have to be the guy that does anything, he can be behind the scenes completely.
Yeah.
You know, I think about this a lot, I'm like, yo, so I can do my thing, you do your thing, you'll just start doing stuff on the back end. We could make so much money together.
Yeah.
But you just don't have it, and it's hard because I get frustrated. It's one of the things I deal with in my life where I can't program this into you.
Yeah, yeah.
As much as I want to, there's nothing I can do to do it. So I think for me, my goal is to get as rich as possible. Let's say I'm making $1 million a month. Then I just tell them like, yo, quit your job. This is gonna be your full-time job, doing this thing specifically. And if it doesn't work out, then I just continue to pay them. I'm not gonna tell them that, but it's like.
No,
I just have to carry my family at that point. You know?
I know the feeling of trying to, because I'm one of those people who try to see if I could pull, everybody along with me as well. So it's like, hey, you want to make enough money to where everybody could be okay, and then ultimately all I can do is just tell you, hey, or try to connect you. I think that's one of the things where networking now for me has been big. Find somebody who's in industry that I can connect to one of my friends and stuff. But then at the same time, you have to figure like how to make it happen. So I'll never be like, oh, I know my does this.
Yeah.
I was just, oh, word, you want to go out somewhere? All right, cool. Go hang out and then just invite and let the organic happen. So it's like, okay, you're both in the same room. I take a step back, let it organically
but even
happen.
with that, I think I get scared of that because it's like, you don't want that to reflect you. Because let's say I have, because I'm not gonna lie, taking my brother places is embarrassing. You go somewhere, you walk up, you're cool. My brother is like, he just doesn't know how to carry himself in these places.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So it's like, I'd rather just go by myself because then it reflects on you. If it's your brother, it's gonna reflect on you.
Yeah.
Right? If it's your people, it's gonna reflect on you. So, yeah, I mean, this episode is kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the things that I'm really sad about. But
we're being transparent about everything.
I gotta call it because I got a meeting.
Because you got that meeting. But yeah, it's very important regarding transparency because a lot of times people want to put on a facade or something, make it seem as if they never deal with anything. But this is truly one of the parts of whether it be in entrepreneurship, business, whatever the case may be, that you have to end up, going through and understanding. So you can't really you can't control everybody. You can't try to force somebody into having the same sort of thought process. You just have to find a way to make it work and then hope, down the line that the epiphany, will happen for them.